Liverpool's amazing night in the Champions League. We'll try and make sense of that. Spurs and Ajax prepared to go head-to-head. There's Real Madrid transfer news just for something different. That and more in the Onefootball Daily. I'm not Matt Froelich, but you still are the Onefootballers. Let's go. Well, they talk about the magic of Anfield, and it's hard to describe it as anything else after Liverpool's amazing comeback in the second leg of their semi-final against Barcelona last night. If you haven't seen the score yet, then you must have been living under a rock. That it was done without Salah, Keita and Firmino, and with Andy Robertson off by halftime makes it all the more incredible. Still, perhaps the most ridiculous thing about last night's basically insane match was, of course, the fourth and most important goal when Trent Alexander-Arnold took advantage of a sleeping Barcelona defence to hand Divock Origi his second of the night. Alexander-Arnold later told BT Sport it was just instinctive to take that corner as quickly as it did, and also that he thought he hit it a little too hard before Origi could finish it past ter Stegen. The looks on the Barcelona faces were incredible, including that, of course, of Luis Suarez making his return to Anfield. He said the goal made his team look like youngsters, and it was hard to disagree. Last year, of course, it was Roma with Alisson between the posts then, and he was back last night to make sure that Barcelona crashed out once more. The result, even despite Barcelona's runaway title win in the Liga, could place pressure on coach Ernesto Valverde, and if there are questions to be asked of the players, expect the biggest ones to be aimed at Philippe Coutinho. The Brazilian was, of course, a fan favourite at Anfield, but was hooked last night after 60 ineffective minutes with his Barcelona side already 3-0 down, placing further doubts on his ability to justify his mega price tag. Liverpool fans, of course, could not give a toss, and their attentions will turn to the final in Madrid in a few weeks. But they'll have one eye on tonight's game, of course, with Ajax hosting Amsterdam, holding a 1-0 advantage coming into this second leg. Spurs will do it without key man Harry Kane, but can at least welcome back Son to help lead the line. There may be up to 4 former Ajax players in that Tottenham lineup tonight. Ajax have won the hearts and minds of the football neutrals this Champions League campaign and should have no fear of Spurs, so expect this one to be another Champions League cracker. Let us know your predictions underneath as per usual. Now, after all that Champions League excitement, let's turn to the transfer market where, if rumours are to be believed, and let's be honest, they rarely are, Real Madrid will be entering the market for Kylian Mbappe of PSG for a potential world record fee. How much, you ask? Well, this piece of speculation from France Football puts that price at £240 million. That's quite a bit of a markup from the relatively cheap 180 that PSG paid for him just 2 seasons ago. Since then, he has scored a fairly reasonable 57 goals in 85 appearances for PSG, showing he's not one to sit in the shadow of teammate and current world record transfer holder Neymar. Neymar, of course, has been mentioned as a possible Real Madrid target as well, but would probably cost just a little bit more than his younger teammate. Still, with PSG looking over their shoulders for financial fair play reasons, it's conceivable that one of them might just leave this summer. Either way, it's no secret that Real Madrid are looking for a new forward, with Luka Jovic of Frankfurt also mentioned. Elsewhere on the pitch, Eden Hazard and Paul Pogba are 2 other names that have been linked with Zinedine Zidane's team. Still, they won't be able to afford them all, but we're tipping this is not the last time we'll be talking about Real Madrid and transfers this summer. Returning to PSG, and it seems if either of those guys are to leave, then they'll be back in the market for reinforcements. Bayern duo James Rodriguez and Thiago are 2 such names mentioned, with the former no chance to extend his loan at the Bundesliga club and unlikely to be wanted back at mother club Real Madrid. Other players linked include N'Golo Kante of Chelsea, but just how big a deal this financial fair play pressure will exert on PSG remains to be seen. As we said, it may take one of those big names to leave before a few arrive. And because we like things nice and neat around here, let's continue with Bayern and look at their pursuit of Timo Werner of RB Leipzig. The Germany international striker has long been linked with Bayern Munich and said recently it would be the only club that he would join elsewhere in the Bundesliga. Werner is refusing to extend a contract that expires at the end of next season. So Leipzig are between a rock and a hard place. Do they keep him and lose him for free, or do they sell him this summer for at least some cash? Well, it seems that Leipzig are willing to play poker on this one, with coach Ralf Rangnick hinting that they might hang on to Werner to have his services next season in the Champions League. Werner has scored 19 goals in 35 appearances in all competitions for Leipzig this season, hence that €40 million price tag. Let's see how this one plays out when things get a little busier come those summer months. But that's it for another Onefootball Daily News. Thanks for joining us in the aftermath of what was another incredible night at Anfield. Let us know what you think of today's news, all in the comments below. We'll see you tomorrow.